On March 3, 1918, the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk was signed, ending Russian participation in World War I. This allowed Germany to redirect troops previously on the Eastern Front to the Western Front, greatly increasing the pressure on Britain and France. Without hope for U.S. intervention, Allied morale would begin to collapse. As a response, the British prepared to launch a second all-out offensive against Germany on the Somme as a last-ditch effort. However, this served as a catalyst for the already declining morale of British soldiers.
Corporal, this storm down.
Soldier,
Bang, bang!
what's the meaning of this?
It's mutiny, Corporal. We soldiers face either desertion or certain death on the Somme. Do you remember the Somme, Corporal? Not even 2 years ago, hundreds of thousands of men, like us, died for nothing on the Somme, on the filthy mud of this ruined, accursed land, within the crumbling dirt walls of a trench. Is that how you want to die, Corporal? It's about time we went down with the war!
Down with the war!
Soldier, it's in times like these that we must stay hopeful. It isn't certain death. Although it may seem grim for us,
Hopeful? Us? There's no us, and there's no hope! Russia has left the war. France has nearly fallen, and the U.S. remains silent. I'm sorry, Corporal, but all the soldiers here are ahead of hope. Our minds are set. I'm not trying to have a conversation with you. I'm giving you a chance to survive this war.
Soldier, I understand how you feel, but deserting means treason. We will surely be executed, and even if we aren't, we'll be cowards in exile. I mean, think. We won't even be able to return to our countries, much less our families. And how will we be remembered? Think about...
I don't care! Shut up! Shut up! I don't care! I'm not fighting again! I don't care!
Do you hear that? Mutiny within the British ranks. We could get a decisive victory and end this godforsaken war. Fire the artillery and charge!
Soldiers, be armed and ready!
Certain death!
Bang, bang! Bang, bang!
Victory for Germany!
The French and British suffered massive losses in men and territory. As a result of this, their leaders, George V of England and George Clemenceau of France, requested negotiations for peace with Germany and Austria.
The country is devastated, and the continuous fighting will only lead to more devastation between both France and Germany. Germany might be winning, but the fighting will never stop. France is willing to reimburse Germany for conditional surrender and in the process save millions of lives.
We demand that the French surrender unconditionally and that France becomes part of the new German Empire.
The French Republic will never surrender to the tyranny of the Germans.
Well then, we demand 200 billion francs and the complete demilitarization of France.
These terms are unacceptable and outrageous.
I understand that France and Germany are rivals, but do you intend to destroy France? They will never be able to pay off that debt.
You can either accept the terms, or we will annex you. The Imperial German army vastly outnumbers you. We can easily wipe out all of Paris to get what we want.
Reparations and demilitarize, but the French will not stay silent.
You'd be a fool to think we'll accept the same terms as France.
I agree. We aren't going what we want.
Then withdraw from the English Channel immediately.
Consider it done.
I require your assistance.
What's the matter, Archduke?
The minorities and Hungarians have taken advantage of us Austrians during the war. They're calling for change, and our weak army stands no chance against their combined force.
Don't worry, the Imperial German army will quickly crush any revolts, and we will assert the Austrian authority over the dual monarchy.
Don't worry, Clemenceau. We are trying to make an alliance with the U.S. and Russia. The time will come for France to rise again. Germany's oppression will not last long.
Those stupid Americans, don't they realize the outcome of this war will also affect them? Why didn't they step in?
They only care about their money, and their safety is not threatened until Germany's aggression finally reaches their doorstep. If only they gave a little assistance from their massive country, millions of people wouldn't suffer under Germany's tyranny.
The stubborn Americans will get what they deserve.
Hi, my name is Alternate Universe. I'm a tour guide at the Cosmopolitan Museum of Art. And for the time travelers watching this, it's the 21st century. I will be doing a really short and quick video about the interwar years. So, I'm not allowed to film this at the museum, but they told me to do it anyway. So, I'm just using pictures from the internet. I'm mainly going over culture and art stuff because that's what's at our museum. Visit our museum! Power. Fun fact, women gained more rights under the leadership due to Ludendorff's endorsements. They also endorsed the Home movement, German word for glory, a romantic art movement glorifying war, the military and its ideals, and Germany. It was related to the Baroque movement. It had similar techniques. Art movements that contrasted this were French Expressionism, Dadaism, and Surrealism. Most of these art movements spread to not only paintings, but also literature. In Britain and France especially, those art movements reflected the excessive carnage from World War I and their bitter defeats. It was also a form of resistance to German cultural imperialism for the French. In Germany, those movements were a counter to the Home movement and traditional art, although less common. Functionalism, an architectural idea that an object's function determined its materials and design, started to gain popularity. Now on to literature. That's lit. Ha, that wasn't funny. A popular technique was a stream of consciousness. Exactly how it sounds. Today, these mass forms of communication and entertainment were frequently used as propaganda and conveyed a strong sense of nationalism, especially by former belligerent nations. Mass media helped exhausted governments keep public inside.
German cultural movements reinforced popular support for German military funding. As a result of the U.S. absence from World War I, European nations would rely less on the U.S. economy. This would cause the Great Depression to have a much smaller impact on continental Europe. As a result, nuclear scientists would emigrate from the U.S. to nations such as Germany, who provided exceptionally large amounts of funding into weapons research. Because of this, nuclear weapons were first developed in Germany.
A stock market crash has just occurred in America. Due to overspeculation, investors have taken out their money, causing the economies of America and Britain to plummet. The effects of this depression will not be that serious on a mostly self-reliant economy.
What are the results of the nuclear test?
Fantastic, sir. The bomb works. Nobody will dare stand up to Germany with this weapon in our hands.
Good, good. Make sure it doesn't get into the hands of the Russians.
You have something to report, spy?
The German nuclear bomb works. We must finish our own bomb soon. I estimate about a week before the German higher-ups get news of this, and about 2 months before they start mass production.
Understand. Your updates throughout the course of the project have been greatly helpful in advancing our research. Our first prototype will be tested soon. If all goes well on the test, we should be able to mass produce by then.
We have enough warheads to wipe out Russia. I suspect they had spies in our program, so we must destroy them before they have the time to develop their own weapons and destroy us.
I understand. Do it.
Sir, the Germans have deployed nuclear bombs. The plane will be here in 2 minutes.
What insanity? Evacuate me at once.
There's no time to evacuate. Do we bomb them back?
I refuse to go down alone. Bomb them.
What is that?
Sir, it appears that the Russians have their own bombs too?
How? How could this be?